Hello and welcome. I am the Imperishable, and on today's episode, we're going to have a look at the new War in Settra book. I've got my copy here. I've been reading through it and trying to grab a few ideas what I can do to certain lists and how I can make it better with the Tomb Kings, because unfortunately it wasn't what I wanted. I'm fine with what's in there. I just wish there was a bit more. No Necropolis Knight mount, which is quite sad. Nothing on that. I could probably understand why they didn't want to do that, because you can make some egregious builds if you have allow a character on something like that, because it enables them not just to join Necropolis Knights, which I think would be really, really cool. It also can make that kind of creature, that character, a low character, because technically Monsters Cavalry. It has that title, so the Monsters Cavalry, so it gets the I can't remember, like the stupidity thing that means you can only be joined by a unit with this rule. So it means you can actually technically join it to your Shabdi and make that your Shabdi brick even better. So I understand from that point, but knowing GW, they don't usually see that. So I will be talking over that, talking over what's in the book, kind of things you can add, but really mainly just focusing on those incantations. So let's just dive straight in, see what we get with the book, and then I'll have a chat about potentially how we can use these. So the first thing we have is the character mounts, and this is where I was really excited for at the start, because I thought, oh yes, this is where we're going to get the Necropolis Knights, or something cool, something different, but no, all we got is the Bard of Wars. The sculpts are phenomenal. I've got them next to me. I've got all four. I need to paint. I'm not a great painter. I don't really care about painting, but I want to give them love. So I'm going to try and do that over this next week or so. But this whole page, this extra page, is all just showing off this Bard Skeleton Steed. And for 4 extra points, all you get is Barding. So you get +1 to your armor save. It's interesting, is what I would say. I think there are a few things you can do, and it works fantastically if you're not versus a shooting army, because you can give yourself a 360 kind of good combat character. So that's something the Chariot lets you down. Be able to go 360 and hit wherever you want, to have this kind of just go out character is really cool. And technically, in Royal Host, you can get to a 2-up, 5-up, 5-up if you take the Royal Mantle. And if you run him solo, and then you just have stuff around him, they'll get his buff. You take that. Tomb King has heavy armor, shield, so he's a 4-up. Barring's a 3-up. Royal Mantle is a 2-up. You give him Talisman of Protection. And then, yeah, it seems really cool. But the way I would probably see it, potentially, if you do see it, is being on like a High Priest with a Warling Sprint, getting a 4-up, 5-up, 5-up, not too bad. It does have this, it's slower than just a normal Skeleton Steed, it's on a bigger base size, it's really, really awkward. I don't think you're ever going to see it. It is a phenomenal model. I've got mine sprayed white here. I went for the guy on horse would be Sword and Shield, and the guy on foot for that with a banner, because that's where usually I'm going to see my herald. But no, this is a big mess, a big sad. I think the models are great. I'm going to try and make them really paint it good, but yeah, it's really bad in my opinion. Nothing, you're not going to ever see it, because there's no good cavalry units. What we needed with this is like an actual like Black Knight, Blood Knight, an actual good cavalry unit, because our cavalry is shit. It's pointless to run it. So down for that. You're not going to see it. The second thing we have here is a winged Warsphinx. Okay, so this is just a worse Necrosphinx for 15 less points. It's strength 5 toughness 6, 5 wounds, which is, I think it's the same, except no, it's not. Necrosphinx is 6 wounds. This is 1 the same. It has less attacks. It actually has 2 less attacks, because the Necrosphinx gets 5 attacks and it gets an additional 1 for the clean roll. So far, for 2 less points, for 15 less points, we've lost the wound and lost 2 attacks. We go through heavy armor, wicked claws. So heavy armor, same save. Wicked claws can technically be better, because the Necrosphinx is only AP1 but does have killing blow and everything. So I would say they're about the same. It has a Venom's Sting Fire Roar that you can pay points for. I don't see why you would. The Fire Roar is a template that is Strength 4 -1. Flaming attacks, like, you're not seeing breath weapons a lot. And if you are seeing breath weapons, you need them on small things. Then we go into their special rules. So close order, cool. Counter charge. This is interesting, and it may seem really cool to be like, oh, I'm going to charge, but I'm going to counter charge, get out the board, kill them, wipe them, whatnot. But they're still going to fight before you. So if anything big goes into it, it's just going to die. It's great if you're versus like 5 Knights Errant and they've charged it because they have to. You can counter charge, get up to a better position. Cool. Dominable 2, same as Necrosync, large target. Carolina Dead. Regen 6+. So that's sad. So once again, for 15 less points, I've lost whole regen. I've lost 2 attacks. I've lost the wound. You lost quite a lot. Stomps D3. Necrosync D3 +2. Swift Stride Terror, same as normal. And you can only run it in the Grand Army or the Mortuary Cult. So I've had a listen. I think the only way you see this is if you think it's a really cool idea. I think the quite cool model. I think it's from 8, but it's like a regiment run out from back in the day. I think this is how you will see it, is if you're going Monster Mash and you're at like 2,600 points, or if you go Monster Mash with Mortuary Cult. I think with 2,000 you can get 3 Necrosyncs and a winged Warsphinx. So you can have 4 flying monsters going at you, but then it's limiting what you take in the rest of your army, because you've got to say 2 Tomb Scorpions, you've got to take 660 core, and then it's just whatever left you have for characters. But in bigger games, potentially, because you have more points, you can get stuff in. But yeah, it's once again, I don't think you're going to see a lot of it. I think potentially a way you do is pay for that fiery roll and try and fly about, but 2 misses so far for me for the Tomb Kings. I knew the Wing Warsphinx was coming. I was hoping maybe it could be a mount, it could be something, I don't know. It doesn't give anything. The only thing different is counter charge, but it's not worth it, I don't think. Getting up the board quicker is quite cool, and I'll give that to them. That could work, but you're not going to fight first. You're initiative 4 at that point. Just take a Necrosyncs for 15 more points, drop a couple skeletons, drop a biting blade for it. It's better. Okay, into the stuff that actually matters and where you would see it. So, Incantations and the Mortuary Cult. Before you start, this isn't just Mortuary Cult. It could be used in any army. So using them, so starting off, you have to purchase them as extra. They're not in your magical, your like magic stuff, magic items things. So it's separate, like ruins. It's like the runic tattoos. You know, when they got new Slayer ones, it works a bit like that. So it's just an additional. So High Priest can take 3, Mortuary Priestess can take 2. And something I quite like, and I wonder if that's where you can do it. Necrotex and Architects may purchase one of them. So that's, for me, is quite interesting, because in a Grand Army, if you're going like Double Dragon or like Settra, I've been playing with him recently, and you want to go fast, you can use that, or you can go like, okay, I'm going to use an X-Tex, I'm using it already, I want it to be with my brick, and I want it, because you can always see yourself, so you can always enchant yourself with a 5-up regen when you're Tomb Bra brick. Something I forgot to say is you cannot have duplicates on the same model, and just like runes, you can't have the same setup. So I can't take my Necrotex, all of them, to have the move spell when we get to it. No, they've got to be different setups. So performing Incantation, it's just a leadership test. If you pass the leadership, it goes off. If you fail it, it doesn't go off. The key thing is it's words crumble like dust. These are single use. However, if you fail the leadership test, it doesn't go. You can use it next turn. But if you pass the leadership test, it's crumbled, it's done, it's single use. Dispelling it, when we get into it, you will see that they have a power level. What you need to do to dispel it is you've got to go higher than the cost value. So just like any spell, I do a leadership test and it goes off on that value. Something that's really cool about this is it gets through MR, and where you're going to see these, I think, is more in probably like teams or top tournaments, is if you're playing something that is double Chaos Dragon, something that it doesn't, or has got Brazen Collars galore, and it's got no actual magic, it's just got Fated. Because this bypass magic resistance, and then they've got a single Fated to try and stop your massive thing. There's no chance of getting a miscast or perfect invocation, there's none of that kind of thing for casting and dispelling, so it's fine. But as I said, if I fail my leadership test, it's not crumbled, it's not gone. But if I pass my leadership test and they dispel it, it's gone. So there's no more single use, it's gone. So let's have a look at them. They range from 50 points to 10 points. So let's have a look. So I'm going to start. There is 6 of them. They all kind of give their own little thing. I personally think there's about 3 that could are worth it. 4 you will buy if you want multiple or something else. So starting off with probably the most like wow one is the Scroll of Withering. 50 points. This is a lot. This is a whole Ushabti. So it's Hex, cast value 8, range 21, which is quite good. However, this usually means you are going to be in Dispel range. Until the start of your next turn subphase, enemy unit is targeted with -1 strength to its and initiative. That's quite cool. And cannot make any ward or regen saves. So that's where it is. You will see this, I think, solely and only because of what you need in a Mortuary Cult Ushabti spam list. Or something like that. Because you're already taking it, you just drop a Ushabti and on that off chance be like, I'm going to try and get rid of your regen and ward. I'm already strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. I've got my elementalism. Oh, I've got my plague. So you're -3 every shot. Oh, you've got no ward or regen. Even all your rubbish skeleton skirmishers will kill it. This what is also kind of good. It can target enemies that are in combat, so that's quite nice. It's a lot. It's a single use. It's casting value 8, so they need a 9 to stop you. So if they are MR2, not MR2, sorry, Wizard level 2, they need 7 on the dice. It's more in favour to them. So this is something I would have, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I've got to get this off to win the game. That's not the idea. You do it like as a, oh, Christ, it went off, let's go. And if it goes off, it is worth more than that one Ushabti. And it doesn't have to just be on a big thing. You could also look to take it in, let's say you are trying to be the anti-VC, it can get rid of that 5-up regen, and if they are playing a kind of tomb, a Graveguard with great weapons, and you're like, okay, cool, if I get that off, you only have a 5-up save, I could potentially kill 23 of them if I hit with everything. If I go in with chariot spam and hit you, because I've got rid of that, there is starts there. But you cannot rely on it, is what I'm saying. Next to Scroll of Summoning, Enchantment, value 8, range 21, so it same as above. Target for any unit regains D3 lost wounds, and until your start of the next subphase, improve the armor value of its regen save by 1. So at first I thought this was a bit pants, like, okay, I bring back 3 more guys and they get 5-up regen. But where this is sick, and I think this is the one you might see this and the Scroll of Urgency, the other ones I think you see the most, is if I've got a dragon or a Necrosphinx, or if I'm playing that big Monster Mash, I try and get this 45 points in, because if I send something out and my dragon, I know it's going to be a tough battle, or they're taking wounds from a cannon, you pop it off, you get that T3 wounds, could just be 1, but you go up to that like 4-up regen, so when you get into combat, and you're like, cool, I've got if you do the Unkillable Dragon, cool, I don't really have an arm save, but you're rerolling your wounds, I've got a 5-up ward, and then a 4-up regen, it's pretty big. This also gives you pseudo Graveguard for a turn, and I'm thinking about trying out to run a certain list that's got the Graveguard, Tomb Guards, because that's what makes Graveguard really good, having the 5-up regen, and then a 3-up armor if you go that way, which is ridiculous. But yeah, it's there to, I think your main thing is there, it's there to boost up big stuff. Or like if you know that you're going to get charged with your Ushabti, you just pump it up on your Ushabti, you move them into a position, you get hit. But it'd be more for your big hitting stuff or your stationary bricks. So say a Tomb Guard having 5-up regen, if you know you get charged, ain't bad. But once again, they need a 9 to stop it, so they'll need a 7 if they're a level 2, level 3 or 4 kind of thing. So, Suffer Awakening, Magic Missile, value 9, this is quite high, so they need at least an 8 as a minimum. Range 27, which is really key, so you can get outside. Place a small blast template, so its center hole is directed over the center of the target enemy unit. Enemy models whose base lies underneath the template risk being hit and suffers a single strength 4 with an AP of 2. So a lot of people slated this, but how I play with my Ushabtis, I can kill everything elite. I can kill chariots, I can deal with things. So that caused me a lot of problems, and it caused me at Home Nations. It's like small bricks, like Night Goblin bricks. Yes, for 40 points I might not get much money back, but it's there. It could kill quite a few, because if you put it over center, you should get at least 4, and then I think it's like another 12 partials. I mean, 16 is the max you can get. If you roll, there's 12, you'll get 6. You get 10 hits, strength 4 wounding them on 3s, so you've got them down to, let's say, 6, 7. 6 or 7 wounds. AP2, that's going to clear through quite a lot of armor. It's the same with like dealing with what was I going to say, dwarves. This could be really good. That really high armor, really tough, where like you Shabti just don't do it. So once again, just as a backup tool, you're paying these. This is okay, cool. I drop a, yeah, I'll go 10-5, 8-5-5 now. So I'm down to 18 bow Shabti, but I've got Scroll of Awakening to help me deal with like some chaff or some bricks, and I've got Scroll of Withering that if I versus those things I can bring them down. That's cool. That's not that bad. It hasn't really changed your playstyle. It hasn't destroyed your list. But other than that, the range 27 is nice. Annoyingly, is that partial hits. It can't do loads. But like I say, like if you're into high elves and they've got silver helms, strength for AP2 is really nice. Or like the Turian Warhosts thing, if they're playing with their big brick of what are they called? White Lions. You go into Brett's Men at Arms. You go Brett's just normal. Like you see like a knight thing called a ping it. It's AP2. They only get a 6 upwards. I think there's some play with it. Like at first I thought all these scrolls were pretty meh. But I'm starting to think more of them after playing with Settra on the Welsh Open. A lot of these I'm starting to think. So I think there is a place. But once again, I think like all of these, you'll just, it's just if I have it. Like if you come up with something that doesn't actually use ward or regen, it's like great, what a waste of 50 points. Scroll of the Outcast Dead. So this is a magical vortex, cast value 8. Range 18 is quite nice for a magical vortex because you can go out quite far. Range 8, once again, they need about 7 on the dice. Small blast, it's treated as difficult, which is quite nice. The template scatters D6 thing, so it's going in random direction D6 inches. Any unit that moves through the template or the template moves over. So this is interesting. So other templates, if you move through it, nothing happens, but this one does. And this is where it's quite tempting. Again, all of them seem tempting. I've given a bit of stick with them. You suffer a single strength 4 hit, so it's not great. It's really cool for if you're at Western VC, you put them near the Banshees, so the Banshees can't go that way because they will get hit, and then they will take a strength 4 hit. EP2, which is nice. A multiple wounds D3, so it's not going to kill a lot, but if they suffer a wound, they must take a panic test. So if you go down that necromancy route and you're trying to keep things at bay, it could force them to go back and keep going back. I don't think it's great. 35 points is not the most expensive thing. Like I've wasted points on more stuff before, like the tablet. I remember running that at WCC. I think I used it once, kept forgetting about it. So it's not the worst. This is probably the worst out of the bunch. I think the worst thing is single hit's not great. Is it can hit yourself because yes, you're pinging out miles and you're hoping you go somewhere where it goes an inch, taps them, and has to come back out, and so they have to come again, whatnot, etc. Scroll of Urgency. So this is, I think, the one you're going to see the most. So Conveyance, casting value 7, so it's very low. So this is where fates are going to come out, because you need an 8 when you're fated. It's not great. If a target friendly unit has already moved during this movement phase, not including failed charge moves, it can move again. So I've been, because I played with Settra and I love to play with all these chariots and having the speed, I've been looking at this. So one of my lists I've been looking at has a unit of Ushabti in special for the Royal Host, and I take just a level 1 that carries this. I've got Royal Heralds and I've got a Tomb King that has the Royal Mantle. So my Tomb King is a 3/5/5 upon a chariot, which is really nice. But the idea is he's going to give D3 extra movement to the Ushabti, because that's what Royal Mantle does. They go up 8 inches. First off, I cast reserve move spell. So when I take, instead of like a -1 to hit, and if I get it on the low one, I just pick the Ushabti. So I then pass my leadership test and I'm D3 extra movement, so I can go up to 8. I move 8. I cast this on them out of range of their dispellers is the hope. So you can sit this wizard quite far back just on its own, because it's just there to do this one little trick. You then go another 8 inches with this Ushabti unit, and then in the reserve move you go another 8 inches. So you can get a Ushabti unit going up 24 inches. You can then also, with anything, this could help. So I played with Settra. I keep saying it, but like some places he was a bit slow. Sometimes my brick was a bit slow. Being able to go just an extra 7 inches or an extra 10 inches is massive, and you can get yourself in positions you can get behind. I was thinking of crazy things, like I could have a Tomb King. It's a lot of points. Tomb King, a Tomb King and a High Priest Necromancy, a Law Familiar, and a Scroll of Urgency. So you tool him up to be as killy as you can. You give him the Ethereal Spectral Steed. You yeet him up. I think this gives you move. Does it give you fly 8 or fly 9? Goes up like 18 inches. You cast that on him again. He flies another 18 inches. So he's just gone 36 inches, and he's probably in between two things, acting as ethereal. And it's like, okay, if they don't get rid of this, first off, you put him in a position where he can't be charged. He's there to annoy and cause things. And if he's still got the ethereal, you send him in. And if you go into the side of the unit and they don't have a character in the units, because they kind of, you can just start chomping up that kind of whole unit. And it is quite a funny like little meme, but it's a lot of points. But I think the Stroll Agency is really cool. And it's one that I listened to another podcast, can't remember who exactly. If you don't get your reserve move spell off, you can be like, okay, this is my get out of dodge spell. This is where I need to spin up. For me, playing more cult, I play very like out there with my illusion wizard. So this could be like, okay, cool. I've got my fly 10. I'm going 10 inches. I actually want to go. If I go here, if I get to this position, I've got reserve. I won't have reserve move if I'm picking him up. But he can't be touched, can't be hurt. I can column here, I can Miles Mirage this next turn. Like, there are things you can do with that. Also, Scroll of Urgency, Tomb King on Dragon. You yeet 20 inches. You go again, you go another 20 inches. With all that, you should be able to put him in a position where next turn he is going to charge into something and annihilate. Or you do it with an Warsphinx and you go that far and you get in behind and into their war machines. This is the best one, I think, because it's got utility and everyone says the movement. You can base it around, and the next one is going to help, because obviously you can't take more than one. You can't have the same build. So what you do, I would probably look to take 2 of these on 2 separate things. You then take a Scroll of the Righteous Smiting, so it's 10 points. So your second one costs 40, and it's enchantment 7 inches range self. So remains in play, which is quite nice if you are going down this route. Whilst this spell is in play, friendly units whose troops like these war machines that are within the caster's command range can reroll a single artillery dice or scatter dice. So if you're playing double Scream Skull, you are going to take this. 10 points. If it doesn't go off, who cares? It's 10 points. Once again, I've wasted more points before. But you get to reroll those artillery dice for each war machine. So if you roll that misfire, cool, just go reroll it. I haven't rolled misfire, but it's going to go in an awkward position that way. I'm going to try and reroll my scatter. Or if I rolled a hit but I can't see it, I'm only ballistic skill 2, I need to try this 10 down, I might try and do that. But it's there, and it's nearly free, which is quite nice. But I would be using this to give myself a second Scroll of Urgency on my second wizard. And I do think there's this one, the Scroll of Urgency is what you... There's going to be some broken stuff that you can do. You can ping someone up nearly 40 inches. A Tomb's Dragon going 40 inches is ridiculous. And you can set yourself up where, like, okay, cool, you first give me a battle, cool, he's behind you now. You've got to do something. You've got to turn around, you've got to hurt him. And at this point, I've already gone up with, let's say, my chariot. So this is how I'm thinking. I'm very much enjoying playing Royal Host. Is I'm thinking, how can I use these to help my Royal Host? So Tomb King on Dragon, chariots going up the sides. I go down the side where it's a bit weaker. I send up a dragon 40 inches. My Tomb Guard chariot, my chariots go up 16 with the reserve move. And they've got a choice. Do I, if it's bricks of infantry, do I face the Tomb Guard chariots, or do I face the dragon? And either I'm getting a hit by both. I think that's really cool, and just to be able to really mess with people and force them to sort out the deployments or where they're going to move, because they've got to make sure you can't send that big thing flying. Another thing, I'm a big fan of Prince Bossoff. Make him fly, because he's fly 9 base, I think. Make him fly 36 inches. You can even make him go further than that. You can make him go 48 inches, because you can technically plus another 6. No, because you won't be in range for that. Probably you probably won't be in range for the other thing. But you can make him go far. You can technically make him go 30 inches and still do his breath weapon, which is quite nice. But yeah, these are basically all we've got. Unfortunately, I won't go into the Royal Crowns and the Slayers because everyone's really talked about them. But yeah, I think Scroll Urgency has the best usage, because you can make it a part of your game plan, or you just have it as a backup. Like, if you're on the turn 5, turn 6, Dragon's going to really hurt you, get into position, I've got to get my wizard out there, I've got to get my big thing back, or I've got to do something to keep myself alive, then you use it. I will probably be looking, I think, taking a Scroll of Withering and potentially a Scroll of Urgency in my more cold list. The list I've kind of been looking at, oh, sorry, it's a bit bad for you. Oh, try to do this on the fly. It's a very bad thing. Is something like this. So I've given myself 50 points because still nowhere allows you to take them yet, which is really annoying, even our world builder. So I've dropped my level 4 to level 3. I've dropped the tablet. So this is basically my list. I've got an extra 10 bow shabby. I might drop these down to slightly smaller. But this is where I've got my Scroll of Withering. So I've got 22 bow shabby with the Scroll of Withering. So it's all about basically being the same. But I'm thinking potentially, do I drop these down to 5-mans? And it gives me that extra. I can get a Scroll of Urgency, I can take a Scroll of Withering, I can try and get this guy back up to a level 4. And I've still got 20 bow shabby. And the 5s can hold themselves. I've got enough resin everywhere. I've still got my lovely Illusion Wizard. I've got 118 points, so Scroll of Withering's 50, Urgency's 80. Or I can go double Scroll of Withering and be like, if I'm versus that double dragon, if I'm there to be that guy, I take one of my High Priest, one of my other High Priests, and my and the 10-point thing. I've got 8 points left over. And it'd be like, okay. And it means if I pass my leadership test and you dispel it with your Fated, I can go again. Maybe that's what I do. And I've just been umming and ahhing, thinking about what I do. This does also mean my Team Scorpions are on the field. But it's quite nice knowing where everything is. I realise that's probably more important than the +1 at the moment. But it'll give me 8 points left. I could drop this down for 30, kind of thing. But that's the kind of idea. You're using them as these little bonuses things, rather than make your army about it. But the Scroll of Withering is strong. It can be really strong. I say I'm not against the Scroll of Awakening. It helps versus those matchups like the Wharf Bricks. So if they've got 18 hammerers, okay, I fire it in. Yes, I only wound your 4s. Yes, I do like 5-6 wounds. Your AP2, you'll be on it for a 6-up save. Cool, I kill a couple of you. Your gun is quite nice. It's 27 inches, which is quite nice. Scroll of Summoning for my Ushabti's families, probably not, because I don't care about the +1 regen. The Scroll of Urgency is what I've been really kind of looking at. So another list, Gotta Go Fast is the list I've been looking at. So it's not a level 2, it's a level 1 because I've just paid for him to the Scroll of Urgency. I've got Triple Herald, a Tomb King, and then I can either make my Skeleton Chariots go fast, my Tomb Chariot, or I can make this Ushabti unit go faster. And it's just having this profile, 5 of them, so it's 15 attacks, so strength 6 -3 in your face turn 1 could be massive. If you place them though where you know that they're going to survive or can't be like multi-charged. If you're playing versus Brett's Peg Spam, probably don't want it. Yes, I know Great Bows are better, but we all love combat Ushabti. All the whole point is you can make this Tomb Guard Chariot with like the big thing, because I've put in the icon of a calf to be annoying, because you can go reform at any point, keep going, go again, reform, go behind. We can get a small little 3-man going 30 inches. So it's little things like that, and I think they're going to be tasty. I need to trial them, see what happens. I'm due like in the 20 bow Ushabti with double Scroll of Withering, and then obviously Scroll of Righteous Smiting, and it's being there like, cool, I'm going to shut down anything that's got a regen or war save. I'm just going to fucking kill it. It's really good in that Chaos matchup probably, when they've got triple dragon and they've all got triple save, and you're like, cool, you've only got your 4-off armor save now because you went for the double thing, and you just go, cool, I'm just going to shoot you off now. And at that point it probably does enough damage that they want to hide that one, and then you focus on the other one, and then you Scroll of Withering in the other one next turn. It's little things like that. I think it's going to be quite nice. So that is the Arcane Journal, War on Settra'S Wrath. Overall, not really happy with it. I like how it touched everything. I like how it didn't break the game, but I wish there was more. Obviously, Necropolis Knight mount would have been really good. Maybe some more magic items, like general magic items that everyone can take, or like a select few armies and they're like generic. I think that would have been quite cool to do. Because it's nice that they've touched not just Tomb Kings. Because we've all had our own Arcane Journal. It's nice that we've all got touched up, like 3 of us. Like the Slayer army, I think it's really cool. It's even making me want to do a Slayer army. But I'm worried now because there's that new book coming up with all the new Marauders. It's really nice to do all these lovely models. Is that only going to be Chaos? And I'd be like, that's a bit unfair. I just want more stuff for the old worlds. Obviously, we're getting it, so I can't be mad. I like how they did it though, that everyone got a bit of some armies got some. We've got 2 brand new ways to play the game. You've got Renegade Crowns, there's a lot of chat about that. A Slayer army, everyone wants to play, like loads of players want to play with Slayers. So yeah, I'm just disappointed that we just got Barded Warhorse that you can't really play with because we don't have good cav. It's on the wrong base size for the normal cav, so it just sits on the outside. And now you can't hide them in a unit because you can just get shot off. But yeah, a bit annoying that, but the scrolls are cool. You're going to have to play with them, see what you can get. Sometimes though, like that scroll that gets rid of the ward and the regen might not come up at all, and I've just wasted 110 points. But in some games, it's like, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I dropped 2 Shabdi to be able to mean I could shut down that high elf dragon, or he's a bit more scared to place him somewhere. Or I hit onto something that's just got regens, or in the mirror match and they've got your Shabdi, or they've got a Tomb King dragon, and I'm like, cool, you're just got your 4-up armor save because you don't get your ward or your regen. I'm going to shoot you. It's there to stop the big star, so maybe only 1 is worth it. Maybe I don't need 2, but I do like the idea of potentially having 2. I say the scroll ends is cool, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I will be doing some more videos hopefully this week. Probably one talking about the Welsh Open at some point. I don't know when I'll be able to do that. Work is getting quite hectic. But yeah, thank you so much and have a lovely day. Ta-ra.